Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, a golf ball is hit into the air. The path of the golf ball is modeled by the equation h equals negative 16t squared plus 80t plus 1, where h represents the height reached in inches and t represents the time in seconds. What is the range of this function? So first of all, let's see what I'm looking for. We need to find the range of the function. Now, when I think about range, I know what you're saying. I think right away about the y-axis means, or I think about the y coordinates. And you're right. The only difference is that right now, the y is actually represented with the h, which is the height of the golf ball, right? And x is going to be the time in seconds, okay? So I can see that my graph has a maximum point somewhere over here. Is that right? So if I want to build a fence, remember that's something that we've been talking about. Building a fence means that the highest point that I will reach will be right there. But I do not know the point, right? But I'm trying to make a connection to see how could I find it. Well, that point, if you notice, the vertex is also part of the axis of symmetry. Is that right? So what about if we can find the axis of symmetry so that can help me find the x value for that vertex, because that's one of the things that I need, right? So what about if we find first the axis of symmetry? So let's work it out. So negative b is equals to 80. So I'm going to say 80 over 2 parentheses a is negative 16. So we write it down. X is equals to negative 80 over negative 32. Is that right? And if you simplify that, we get x equals to 2.5 and a positive, of course. Okay, so we found the value for x. That means that my point right there, it's right here at 2.5. But now I'm looking for the point on the height, which would be our y. Is that right? So x is 2.5. So this is the same thing as saying time equals 2.5. And that's seconds. Okay? So that means that after 2.5 seconds, or after 2.5 seconds, the golf ball is going to reach the highest point that it can reach. Okay, so now I need to find the other value. Well, to find the other value, I am going to evaluate the function with t seconds, which is 2.5. Okay, so let's work it out. So the height will be equals to negative 16 parentheses 2.5 squared plus 80 parentheses 2.5 plus 1. So remember what I did? I'm just replacing my t. I'm replacing t with a 2.5. There's two t's in there, so I need to make sure that I replace both of them. Okay, so let's continue. If I multiply 2.5 and 16, remember 2.5 is raised to the second power. Okay, so that's 2.5 times 2.5 times negative 16, and we get negative 100. Okay, and 80 times 2.5, it's 200 plus 1. Okay, if I input that in the calculator, I get 101. So what's the point that is here on the highest one? 101. And it's touching it, right? So it will be included. Okay, so the range goes from 0 to 101. So I'm looking for all the values that are greater than or equals to a 0, but also less than or equals to 101. So the answer for this, it is going to be letter B for us.